Guys, here we go. This is round 5 of this Ravnica Roto draft. We've got Dom on Mardu control at 2 and 2, Scott with Abzan midrange 1 and 3. What are you guys' thoughts on the matchup?
I haven't played against Scott, so I'm just gonna go with Dom. Seeing as he's the person that beat me.
Solid luck on that.
I still haven't really looked through deck lists because I'm bad at this, so.
Fair enough. Well, I also lost to Dom and beat Scott, so 2 out of 2 matchups, or records, say Dom should win.
I mean, if we're going to go by that, Scott should have won in my game, but instead I won, and it'd be Dom, but Dom wouldn't have won, so Scott would get one.
I like Dom's opening hand of 7 mana sources. Scott is more reasonable, although kind of slow. This 6 on Dom's side is fine, although not. He can't actually cast anything with that for land.
I mean, he does have a scry, and okay, he's on the play.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I'd keep both these.
Yeah.
I think it would have been entertaining to keep that 7 mana source and see what happened. But probably not the right decision.
Probably not, considering how much removal Dom is packing.
Dom found that Chromatic Lantern again and scryed it down. This Beckon Apparition is kind of awkward that you can't just get a token, you have to actually have a target.
Yep. Not to mention the Ogre Slumlord with no black sources.
That's a little awkward, yes. Ooh, Boros Garrison is a good draw. That's effectively 2 lands.
Evan to the Worm isn't too bad. That's Shockland into a bounce land.
Well, Scott's not getting anything set up here, and I think that if the game goes longer, Dome is probably favored with his endgame.
Not to mention now he has a way to deal with a Mardu Worm.
Yep.
Just go with Shrieking Grotesque. Yeah. Blind Hunter next turn.
I mean, just based off hands, it looks like Dom has a better setup at the moment. More options of what he can do, and just more presence.
Amusingly, Scott can go end of turn Beckon Apparition on his Slumlord.
Right, and he's doing that.
Yep. Way to enable that token.
So now you can trade a 2-1 for a 1-1 if he says go that route.
Yeah.
Actually got the right spirit token.
Yeah, I was actually just thinking that we've seen a lot of incorrect tokens pop in.
Yeah.
Huh.
Getting with the spirit, Is he thinking about readying?
I hope not.
There's nothing in his hand, and I would have been surprised if Dom blocked. I feel like I would have left the spirit open myself. Just thought the Shrieking Grotesque from attacking.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like Dom is on the aggro plane, so he could just get as much damage in as possible, and hope to follow it up with worms. Although this game he sort of is on the aggro plane. Ooh, Scion. If he could populate that worm token, that'd be sweet, but that's not going to happen.
No. Although,
My one day.
if you wait till
At the end of turn, he plays Advent of the Worm, because there's no reason for him to play it this turn. So, I mean, Dom would have to leave the mana open for Mortify.
Well, he's got nothing else to play right now.
That is true. Eliminate Primordial, 7 mana, he has 4 mana on field.
He's also
Merciless Conviction is not worth playing at the moment.
He's also pretty likely expecting the Advent, just because Scott has played nothing but a Beacon Apparition, and it's turn 4. Was there a point to tapping that for red?
I think it's just Dom. Like,
It's probably just.
Just wanted to feel that like coursing of power. let the fire flow through you or something. Deathrat Shaman not too relevant.
Yep, and there's Mortify.
True. It would have actually been a good idea to attack with the worm first. And see if Dom tries to pull a trigger on a removal spell, and you would have had ready for that.
You can go to Playtown on more of his own terms, which you're saying basically, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now the real question, does he get another bird or does he get another spirit?
Should have been a spirit. He's getting the wrong bird tokens.
They're from the right block, at least.
I mean, they're not what, Gatecrash bird tokens? They're Dissension bird tokens.
Yeah, whatever. They look like squid for some reason, but
a little bit. I was actually thinking that.
Yeah, the only time the color would matter I can think of is for Blood Baron, but that has pro white and black anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
True.
Soul Tithe on this Scion seems okay to me.
He is 1 mana off of our Mardu, it looks like.
Correct.
And we're 1 mana off of Luminate Primordial. That probably actually, I don't know if that works out well. I was thinking if you played the Armada Worm, then next turn Dom probably played Merciless Eviction. Then if Scott were to play anything on the following turn, Luminate would just get rid of that one as well. Getting Celestia's Signet is going to make it so he's not casting Armada Worm this turn anyways. And yeah, Ready and Willing isn't going to help him against Merciless Eviction.
Too merciless for that. Is Dom going for the Dousing Gloom here?
Oh, no, you didn't go for it.
Just jumped?
You just jumped.
Huh.
He either has other plans for it, or he didn't notice.
I mean, he might just be planning on primordialing it, but I'm not sure that just jumping made a lot of sense there. Does he need those 4 life?
It looks like he probably will Merciless Eviction this turn. And oh man, the triple block.
All the blocks.
What do you think of this ready? Is that worth it to save 2 birds?
In this situation, I'd probably say yeah. It's 3 damage a turn, and at least as far as the board sees, like now everything's done. But as far as the board was visible, then he would have had just all that damage to start swinging.
And this is actually pretty good in Scott's favor right now, because now the Mardu Worm will make a token, and the Primordial only takes out 1 dude, right?
And then Soul Tithe can hit the actual worm itself.
Yeah, but I mean, if Scott has nothing better to do, he can just keep paying to have a 5/5. And, I mean, Dom does actually a good amount of removal spells to the left.
Still no black mana. What Dom can do is, well, actually the Primordial kills 1 worm and just blocks the other one forever.
Oh, true, yeah.
True.
I was going to say he can also kill the token and then Soul Tithe the real one.
Yeah, that's what I was figuring the line was going to be.
I mean, if you do that, then you can actually start swinging for 4 as well if you use the Soul Tithe and the Luminate to take care of both worms. Otherwise,
unless Scott still has nothing to do,
kind of
just pays the tithe.
Correct.
But yeah, definitely kill the token here. Even or also for proliferate. No, what's the word? Population shenanigans.
True.
Yes.
Oh, the black source.
Oh snap! Black mana.
And now Putrefy can just take care of Luminate.
Yep, and now Dom has to dig for answers with Underworld connections.
That's a pretty big draw.
And that is a real clock on him.
Soul Tithe and Underworld Connections is 5 mana, which he has more than enough for.
Since Connections gives the ability to the land, I was entertained during when it was in standard of casting Pithing Needle and like naming Swamp for your blocking abilities from swamps. Yeah, that's what I said.
Sun Collector is not the answer he was really looking for. At the very least, Dousing Gloom will get him 1 extra turn, bringing him up to 12, meaning he'll take 3 attacks rather than 2.
True. He does have plenty of removal spells to draw. Scott's just gonna keep paying that tithe. Rakdos Returned does not actually do a lot here, for once. Neither does Castigate.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, he could kill the worm with Rakdos, couldn't he? Oh, it's
No.
target opponent. Never mind. Cannot target creatures. So yeah, if he douses in Glooms, he won't be able to tap his Underworld Connections next turn to draw the extra card, but he'll live next turn and be able to at least get the top deck of his card.
He can also block with Sin Collector and get 1 extra draw.
That's true.
Unless Tolsmere Wolfblood gives it +2/+2. Oh, he can't cast it.
Nope, not with the Soul Tithe. And next turn, that can be cascaded away. No, there's a Dawson Gloom.
Hornets sting you. Nya, nya, nya.
I was actually thinking earlier about Mana Tithe. Would have stopped the Armada Worm cast.
How about an Angel of Despair? Is that good enough?
That's a pretty good permanent.
Comes into play. Tolsmere Wolfblood does not have haste. How much mana does it cost? All of his mana for the most part?
Yeah, it costs.
He's still got that 1
mana.
draw if he wants it.
Yep. Can still be risky. Also go down to 1.
Tolsmere Wolfblood's coming out. It's a 3/4 that's going to make a 2/2 wolf. It's going to be a 4/4 wolf. So it's going to be 2 attackers
I
and
feel like
2
the difference
turns.
between 2 life and 1 life is not very big right now. This Grove is not doing a lot.
At least though, with Tolsummer Wolfblood, I mean, it can become active, but right now, yeah, just Tolsummer Wolfblood and the token have a chance to kill Dom.
Cascade is a sorcery, so I don't see him really being able to use it at this point, just because Scott's probably going to drop whatever comes into his hand.
Another answer.
Oh, that Condemn is not bad, though.
Yeah. Oh man, Dom just needs 5 more damage, and then he could actually Rakdos return for lethal.
Other than Angel of Despair, or with Angel of Despair? 1, 2,
Angel
3,
Despair.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay, am I doing math right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Never mind, he needs 7 more damage.
going for it anyway.
Yeah. I mean, he's not likely to get any cards out of his hand anyway, and he's holding up Condemn.
Of course. Golgari Germination. Doesn't do much.
Especially against Condemn. Now is the question, does Scott make the token? Or no, he's being greedy. He's going for it.
I mean, you have to assume that there's only one card and it has to be Condemn, right?
Yeah.
That's the only card that Dom could have right there. I think you've got to make that token.
Yeah, sorry about that. So I'm assuming I missed the last turn. I'm assuming Scott swung in with the Tolstomir, and it got condemned.
Yep.
Scott down to one draw step to find something.
At end of turn, he Grove the Guardians to get an 8/8. Does that help? Does that win?
It needs creatures.
Yeah, it needs 2 untapped creatures.
Oh, okay.
He needs... What do he has left?
Forest is not it, man.
Nope.
No.
That was right. To be fair, it could have been 2. He decided to take that last life to finish it at 1.
But still, it couldn't have been more than 2.
I'm assuming they're just talking at this point, since he threw his Cascade Plains out on the field.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Yeah. I'm kind of interested to see what Dom would draw, because, I mean, if Dom drew, like, nothing, making the token would have actually allowed him to do Grove and have an 8/8, and that would actually been really relevant.
I mean, he really kind of set that up by attacking with the Angel of Despair. I probably would have done the same thing in Scott's situation of just, like, it was suspicious, but I felt like I would have had to have taken it.
No, I mean, you have to... He didn't have to attack with the Angel. He could have just held it back to block, so if he does that, you have to read that Condemn.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's suspicious, especially since he, like, left himself completely open, so he has something or he screwed up.
Yeah, you guys think of sideboards?
Yeah, probably. And Scott definitely had the life total to spare a little bit for the he could take another attack. Like he didn't have to go for that window.
For sideboard, I think Abzan at Ghost Cancel could come in for Scott. It dodges sorcerer speed removal. Maybe Rootborn Defenses just stops kill spells pretty much. Sundering Growth, Dom has a decent amount of mana facts at least. Well, 3. I guess it's not that many.
Do you think Scott has enough black sources to play Abzan?
He has before.
Huh.
I'm pretty sure at least.
Oh, the Putrefy was also main board?
Huh. Yes. I think he made that change between rounds 2 and 3.
Oh, true. Yeah,
I don't think it was originally his main board, though.
Yeah, because it's definitely not on the list that Dom sent me. Or the PowerPoint.
They're back starting. Scott's 7 was a little sketchy, but I didn't think it was that bad. But he went to 6.
God, the Shrine Pro Scarison over on Dom's hand again.
Yeah, no, Dom's hand looks pretty sweet.
The first few turns are going to be the same as his last game, though. I'm amused.
He brought in that Keening apparition. I don't know if he's just using that as a bear. Like, Scott doesn't have that many targets. I guess something like a Glare of Subdual, if you think Scott brought that in. Or Unflinching Courage.
Oh yeah, there's.
I'm feeling it's more of a bear, maybe something to potentially hit an enchant, but I feel like it's probably just more there as a 2/2 body. Though Scott's tokens, at least when I think of tokens, I usually think of 1/1s and the like. Scott actually has a lot of larger than 1/1 tokens. Like the Celestial Charmer, there's a 2/2 white knight with Vigilance. Second Apparition is a 1/1 that has flying.
Looks like he's going for the token instead of just playing a charm. Get some guys out. Seems fine, he doesn't really have a follow-up. So we may as well just play the Signet later. This skeletal vampire is very hard to deal with. Like, it's just gonna stay on the board.
Well, Scott actually does have an answer to skeletal vampire in the form of Putrefy, if that ever comes up.
Flurry of the Sleepless. Just like spirits all over the field here.
So on Dom's next turn, he could Rakdos his return and pretty much deplete, well, he would deplete Scott's hand.
Yeah, that definitely seems like a good line of play. Poor Scott not getting to play his opposite out.
He even has all the colors.
Yep.
Would you guys go for that? If you're in this situation, you don't know what Scott has in his hand, would you try to deplete it?
Oh, definitely. When you're only facing down a 2/2 knight and a spirit token.
Yeah, and then he's relying on top decks.
Yeah.
I think definitely.
And like considering Dom also has 2 removal spells and then like 2 really hard to answer creatures. Once again, we see the tapping for mana and then bouncing your land. There's nothing with the mana.
So Tom's now at 5 mana, correct?
Yes. So that Rakdos
So,
return.
yeah, Rakdos is still pretty much, because he can't play Skeletal Vampire, Pillar of the Sleepless, there's no point in casting that yet. Dreadboard, there's no point in casting that yet.
So I didn't notice until right now that Wormweaver Coil is enchant green creature, so it's actually not useful in like the creatures that Scott has right now.
Oh wow, yeah.
I didn't actually notice that.
Well, at least now we can have an Abzan off. Because he didn't have Rakdos return, and Scott will be able to cast Abzan.
Oh man.
He went for the Ghost Council. Oh. Invalid play.
Yeah, we should probably let him know.
Okay, you got it. Pay attention to the chat.
Guys.
It's gone. It's gone.
Yeah, okay, they went a bit too far.
I mean, in my opinion, they're not so far. Telling that they couldn't undo those, but
True.
as soon as Dom plays like anything, then yeah, it's too far. Are they discussing it now? Nope, they're just continuing. That's not the first time this happened in this tournament, unfortunately. Will they notice it now? Yeah, when they paused for a second, I was like, okay, maybe they're trying to remember what happened.
So this is actually really good for Scott because he's gonna get his Obsidat now.
Yeah. And that way, since I mean, dumb. Oh, actually, yeah, no, he'll have Abzan. He'll probably figure it out.
Okay, yeah, that's how it was.
Why did Scott try to play the coil in the first place with the Keening apparition on the field?
Not sure.
Yeah.
Like, maybe just going for it.
Or maybe just, like, skipped his mind, because I want to say it was the same game as Scott, actually. Scott had a card that he could just sacrifice a creature to counter an X spell, and I cast an X spell forgetting he had that card, and it went through because he forgot his card had that ability. So it could be something similar where he just didn't think about Keening Apparition.
I think that was my frontline medic, actually, but yeah.
Oh, it was yours? Okay. Then yeah, that was the case.
Yeah, so it happens. I'm confused why they're using the mana pool all the time right now. I guess just it's tapping for multiple colors and stuff.
Yeah, it could be just that it's an awkward mana setup.
Yeah, I mean, considering the way Scott has to tap his mana to actually cast Abzan, because he has to use like the forest tapping signet and like that green mana, like the green mana being made from Rot Farm and Celestia signet pretty much don't even matter.
Yeah.
Except for one of them.
It's Batman!
So I mean, if Scott doesn't get Rakdos returned, he can play Loxodon Hierarch, and then actually have a green creature to cast his Wormweaver on.
Oh man.
So I can get Keening Apparitioned. If that was what happened there, if he just forgot about Keening Apparition's ability, that works in Scott's favor now as well, because he's now fully aware that that will happen.
True.
Obviously, wait until 9 mana and just sacrifice it in response.
Yep.
Yep.
And then proliferate that, or populate that with 6/6.
Scott forgetting that he also gained. Okay, no. He realized he gained 2 life from Altada.
So Scott could play Hierarch and then leave mana up to regenerate, but I don't think that does a lot. Like, what's the most likely block from Dom? Like, he blocking Abzan with, like, Apparition and Batman, and then regenerate. So you're sort of trading a Hierarch for the Keening Apparition and a Bat, which doesn't seem that good.
No.
And then just in small amusement parts, you currently have a Ghost Council fighting the same Ghost Council. Ghost Council is Orzhova and Obsidian Ghost Council on opposite sides of the field.
Yep.
So does Scott have any attacks here? I don't think so.
Spirit would just die, the Knight would just die, the Ghost Council. You already went over that scenario. So yeah, no, not really.
Oh, he's going for it.
Oh.
Wow.
And the Spirit for some reason. I guess I guess I can see that. Like, if Dom does the multi-block, then that either he's losing his last bet, or it gets through.
Yeah, I think the Spirit will just...
With the Knight.
Oh, the Knight is also attacking, I'm guessing.
Okay, and that means the solo bat has to be left there so it doesn't do combat damage for regeneration purposes.
No, you can sacrifice the bat that's blocking the Knight.
Okay, yeah, that's what he's doing, actually.
And I guess, yep, he's sacrificing his Loxodon. Well, I mean, with the Keening Apparition dead, the, oh wait, I forgot, the green creature's dead too. Wormweaver wants to dead in his card.
Real rough for Dom not to be able to play these removal spells on that Obsidian.
I was gonna say, if you let Obsidian die and kept his Hierarch there, he would have still killed the Keening Apparition, and he could have Wormweaver coiled the Loxodon Hierarch.
Yeah, but then it just dies to Dreadbore.
He doesn't know that, though.
Scott
True.
also theoretically knows that Dom has the Castigate. I think he revealed it.
Oh yeah, true, yeah. He did reveal it before we were able to...
Yeah, he went to go cast it. So it's coming down now? Oh, so
Did he
it's
just
coming down
Dreadbore a Spirit?
Yes, he did.
Why?
to swing through unblocked with his flyers? I'm gonna guess.
Makes Doesn't actually make that much sense there. Because, like, Scott is at 23. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think. Like, I
I
guess.
mean, right now his board position is a 4/4, which won't be able to block the 5/5. Just have to send vigilance. And he didn't try to make more bats, so.
Actually, we could do that a bit later. I think he is just worried about the fact that he dies to Obsidat in 5 turns of doing nothing.
Oh,
If he did-
our motto worm is pretty sweet.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a little surprised Dom didn't just make more bets.
He had to get rid of that Wormweaver Coil and Spirit.
Definitely the spirit.
It's like now he could just be sacking infinite bats and not taking 5 damage.
Yeah.
But instead he has to chump.
Scott decided to attack with the Knight token? Interesting.
Vigilance.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a Skeletal Vampire.
The Batman is now batless, so.
Batman and Ghost Cancel also seems good because you can just keep blinking Ghost Canceling, gaining incremental life.
Yeah. Dom is definitely in a losing position here with now facing down 3 5/5s.
He could have had that Dreadbore still.
He can stop one of them at least, but that's still 2.
Yeah. Oh, well, that stops 2 of them.
Yeah.
And everything else.
He has 6 mana though? Oh, it costs 6 mana. Conveniently.
Oh man, if he had 1 more mana, he could at least blink his Obsidian and then Merciless, but that's not something I can do.
The Ghost Council comes in, reduces his life by 2, swings in, puts him down to 1.
He's been in this position before.
Yeah.
Well, right now, I think Pillory, like the Armada Worm, have both features to block. When you block Obsidat and your Worm, you can sacrifice the Skeletal Vampire to Ghost Council and take no damage besides the 2 damage from Obsidat.
I mean, those worms have trample. Am I missing something?
Oh yeah, they do have trample.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Okay,
I totally forgot they had trample.
What just happened? Why did we... Okay. So, I mean, he would still have had to draw an instant speed kill for the Obsidat, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
But there was a chance. Was it going to just kill him anyway? He was at 8, right?
He was at 8. He comes in, he goes to 6.
Yeah, he was at 8. So if he tapped to find another card, he would have died.
No, but if he evicted instead, I guess he takes 2 to 6, takes 5 to 1, and then when it blinks, he just dies anyway. So it doesn't matter if he draws a kill spell.
True. Yeah. Pillory, one of them. Pillory a token or Pillory a worm, and then you have to deal with only 2 5/5s. Might have been a better line. Maybe let's buy you more time.
Well, he had a 3/3 and a 4/4. Orzhov, or that guy had to come back in.
Yeah,
Ghost Council. So taking the 2 damage from that, the worm would have trampled through some amount of damage. And he would have lost both of his creatures and not really accomplish anything. Unless he double blocked 1, then took 5 and he was still at 1.
Yeah.
Note that Pillory just takes life, doesn't gain any from him.
But what was he mentioning with the double block? If you double block Ghost Council, then all you have to do is draw a regular, like any removal spell to kill the token and give a shot there. But
Merciless Eviction, actually, if he still had it in his hand, because he wouldn't have played it.
Oh yeah, true.
So he might have been able to drag that out longer.
Dom takes an instant mulligan into 5 lands.
And an Angel of Despair.
Scott
that he can't actually play with those 5 lands yet.
5 lands.
But that's 7 cards.
Yeah.
And Bird of Paradise is somewhere in between a non-land and a land, so...
I mean, that is also 7, like you said, 7 cards, 5 lands, with a turn 3 Advent of the Worm.
Turn 3 Advent sounds decent.
With,
I'd probably keep it.
Yeah.
I don't know about Doms. I didn't see what a 7 was, but I don't know how I feel about that 6. I don't think I like that 6.
I didn't get a good look at his 7, but it didn't look like an instant mulligan. I could be wrong.
Is this a game 3?
Game 3.
Okay.
Yeah, this is game 3. That's not a bad 5. It's not gonna beat Advent of the Worm. But
It'll dig. It'll dig somewhat decently, but
put the angel on the bottom.
Yeah, that's probably what I would have done to Scry.
Yeah. He just has to, as long as he has a way to deal with turn 3 Advent of the Worm.
Yeah, Forest, Bird, Plains. I'll get one of the guild gates out now.
Oh man, he didn't tap that.
Does he have 3 bounces? Rock Farm bounces. Okay, the guild gate does not bounce. Okay, never mind. So he just has 1 bounce.
That would be an answer. Oh, that is an answer. He drew a red. Okay. So there's a kill spell.
Yep. So,
it's an instant speed, so at the end of his turn he goes to cast it.
I was just going straight for it.
If Scott can untap and ready, that will be insane.
Well, that's all I'm wondering. Depending on how he does this, if he goes at the end of Dom's turn, Dom doesn't play something else.
Main phase and then remember it was an instant?
Probably.
Good.
Probably.
Okay.
Okay, so Dom's gonna have the mana open for... No, he's not.
Nope. He chooses to draw a card.
Yep.
That makes a big difference.
Yep. So now Scott plays Advent of the Worm, and he has Ready available.
Yep.
Considering the rest of his hand is land. So that mana's gonna be available.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Does he go for the unflinching courage or play it slow with ready?
All he has to do is wait a turn, because the next turn he can go up to 6 mana and have ready and unflinching courage.
Nope, he's gonna.
He's getting greedy.
He's gonna be.
Man,
greedy.
Everyone's so greedy.
That seems super greedy against the control deck.
I mean,
particularly one that's sitting there not doing anything and mulled down to 5.
I guess, but still.
I feel like in that situation, though, you'd have to assume there's some kind of control, unless Dom's just giving away like cues that his hand is not the best.
But just Wrecking Ball into Ghost Council.
So now, does Dom let him untap into ready?
Okay, now it doesn't even matter.
Okay,
yeah, now
it
doesn't matter.
I guess. Whatever.
Now he can do whatever he wants to do. He has 3 mana left open that he's not going to necessarily be able to do anything with. He can't play Ghost Council without 2 white.
It's so... still. Yeah. He could Wrecking Ball a double land, but that doesn't actually seem relevant.
Oh, he got Wrecking Ball.
Oh, he's going. He went for the instant, or then. Oh, Worm's going to attack.
I mean, that means Dom only has 4 life to play with. I mean, 5 if he plays Ghost Council, but like, man.
Would you guys have Wrecking Ball there or Condemned? I feel like I would have Condemned just because that way I'd have Wrecking Ball left open for something else later.
I'm sure he's
And
thinking
then
of.
they wouldn't have to be attacking.
I'm sure he's thinking of mana efficiency. And,
Yeah, Wrecking Ball was a more mana efficient play,
and ready is the only thing that makes a difference there. So he has to have exactly ready.
Meanwhile, Scott's at 32 life.
But yeah, those Worm tokens have been doing some damage throughout this tournament.
Yeah.
Alright, Luxodon Smiter can't be countered, and something got you discarded. You put onto the battlefield instead.
Scott's going to 39.
That's just silly.
Yeah, like it will definitely take Dom a long time to whittle down that health.
Yeah. Luxodon Smiter comes out as a 4/4. Ghost Council is a 4/4.
Yep, and he can sacrifice like the Blind Hunter bat. Oh wow, there's also Mortify, so like just drawing more removal spells.
So this could be a long game.
This is definitely a long game 3.
This is going to make up for the game we just had that went, what, 15 minutes? Alright, so instant speed Mortify when he tries to attack with Luxodon. It's 3 mana. He won't be able to cast Ghost Council, will he? 1, 2, 3, 4. Leaves him with. No, he can do both.
Yeah, true. You could do both. Both sounds decent. Or you can always just block Smiter, sacrifices Blind Hunter bat, and Haunt.
Although you don't get the haunt if you exile a Ghost Council. It's kind of awkward. I guess you can haunt onto his guys.
Well, I was going to say
haunt
you
on
would
the
haunt
Smiter,
Luxodon
so
Smiter, then when you mortify Luxodon Smiter, you get another 2 health.
Yeah. Voice is not a bad trick.
So alternatively, mortify and just start attacking with Blind Hunter. Voice of Resurgence.
In response, mortify.
Do you mortify Luxodon, or do you... Yep.
Yeah.
I think Loxodon, yeah, killing this Loxodon because
Yeah.
Overbody's pretty good. 2/2 is manageable. Dom just has to play sorcery speed now.
When it dies, or whenever an opponent casts a spell during your turn. So he'd be getting 3/3 token into a 4/4 token, depending on what kind of spells are cast. But Dom's not casting any spells, so there's always that. Nope, not casting any spells.
So we have 6 lands in hand.
We have 6 cards in hands as well.
Yeah, both players have also cast only 6 spells each. Exactly.
Illuminati confirmed? Am I doing this right?
Sounds about right.
Yeah, put you to 36. Take that.
I mean, he has to start somewhere, right?
I've got this 18-turn clock.
Call of the Conclave. 3/3 Centaur.
Also, fun little fact: Scott has played nothing but green creatures for that worm enchantment for the next time.
So Centaur sits out. Does that stop attacks? Blind Hunter to possibly counter Voice Resurgence and Ghost Council heal Centaur, or does Dom continue to get the 2 damage in and take a 2 damage situation? Okay, he's gonna block that Voice of Resurgence, which is gonna get a 3/3 token on the field.
Yep.
I don't really understand that attack. Like, don't you just want to keep your sorcery shields up?
Yeah, I think that would have been a better choice. Also, one thing to point out, that Centaur token has protection from black, because it's a different Centaur token than it should
be. Well, that's convenient. I mean, you gotta do what it says on the card, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. But I mean, having the 3/3s kills the Blind Hunter, and it doesn't really net him anything. He'll kill the Blind Hunter without losing a creature. Ghost Council can then block and kill whatever got haunted, and then the turn after that, Ghost Council blocks whatever's still alive, so that doesn't actually end up netting any real advantages. So yeah,
okay,
I feel Voice Resurgence
just
being
getting killed now, so it's alright.
Why is he revealing his hand?
Because, I mean, you still have to reveal your head to the Castigate, and then...
Oh, he's playing Castigate. Okay, never mind.
Although,
I missed that part.
He didn't reveal his hand, he randomly revealed a card from his hand.
There we go. Now he's revealing his hand.
I choose this Guildgate.
Yeah, now the Elemental gets Dreadboard.
And then swing with Blind Hunter again.
Yeah.
And then keep that plain swamp in, just look intimidating.
Yep.
Oh, Putrefy. Kills Ghost Council, swings in for 3, puts Dom at 1. Then he can't Underworld anymore.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good.
Well, I mean,
And then he goes back to that 1 life game again.
Well, actually, he'll go back to 2 when Ghost Council comes back, so he could draw for 1 more card.
Oh, right. He can use the ability. Because he actually has a mana this time.
he can also haunt, and if he can get that thing to die, then he can gain 2 more life.
Yep. But putting Dom to 1 still seems pretty good.
Yeah, and when he comes back into the battlefield, he's going to go up to 2 at least.
Oh, well, that's another way to gain life.
Yeah. He brings himself to 1 and gets King Apparition.
Which is a blocker, at least.
Mm-hmm.
And sacrifices 2 Ghost Council.
So Faith Fetter, up on the Centaur.
Kind of funny making something that you want to die unable to block, but whatever.
Yeah. And then King Apparition for the blocker. Now he can start swinging through with Ghost Council.
He did tap his Connections land. Doesn't want to take that chance anymore, maybe.
Oh no, he tapped it to draw the King Apparition.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
He did use it. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh,
Grove.
Grove is live. You can still tap that Centaur.
Yep. Hopefully he just waits on it. Yeah, just waits on it.
And then Illuminate Primordial. Pays the life for the Urza Signet.
So, that Primordial is going to gain Scott another 8 life.
Yep.
Oh man. So one of Scott's best outs is to enchant his birds with that worm enchantment for lethal. Oh wait, no, King Apparition.
King Apparition. Damn you, King Apparition.
Yeah, if he, I was just thinking if he illuminated the Centaur, for whatever reason, it would not have gotten the Haunt trigger because the Haunt is Graveyard.
Yep. But what he might do now is when Scott swings the 8/8, sacrifice his healing apparition so it won't be there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to block and then blink the council to gain a life, right?
Yeah. Oh, hey, I didn't even notice the looks don't draw.
Gains 4 life.
Man, achievement unlocked, constantly staying above 30 life.
Suddenly, Sarah.
Yep, and there's the blinking of ghost.
Alright, the word of enchantment is now a live kill, kill. It's a live kill.
So it comes in, exiles a token, can block and kill Hierarch in addition to having vigilance. Looks pretty good.
And more lands.
And more lands. Is he going to Underworld for another card? Yep.
More
For
lands.
another land. I'm not going to lie, it's getting more out of the Underworld than I expected. The amount of life gain in this game is silly.
Right. Scott goes to 40.
Alright, so we're officially starting a game of EDH.
It's a very interesting form of civilization where instead of you losing life, your opponent just starts gaining it.
I mean, this is just how the Ghost Council deals, right? This is their job.
They're both just sitting on lands of hands still.
Yep.
Lands
Still
of
saying,
hands.
Scott has a 1 in 21 chance of killing Dom with a Bird of Paradise.
Yeah, King Apparition is down, so...
Really swamp?
Though, to be fair, even if Dom had a response, he has enough mana, Scott has enough mana to sacrifice the enchantment before it gets destroyed.
True.
And then he draws a Chromatic Lantern.
But that 6/6 worm still gets blocked by Luminate Primordial.
Yep.
I want to see this 6/7 bird just coming out of nowhere.
Oh, do you not play land per turn? I was gonna say in that Swamp Lane Swamp Hand again.
It's okay, Scott drew a land. That just means his odds are getting better of drawing a one-weevil coil.
Right?
Now it's
This is the kind of game I would love to see with my mill deck instead of like all of the lands on the bottom of the library nonsense I've been dealing with. Oh, it's an on-land. Creatures blocking or blocked have lifelink.
No, Dom, you're supposed to
You
reduce
know right
their
now,
life, not give
right?
it to them.
You know right now Dom's going like, I need to do this, but should I really do this?
I mean, like, Scott's blocks are still pretty bad, even if it means gaining life.
I mean, his Luxodon blocks, Alms Beast, and negates, Luminates damage.
Or, you know, Scott could just take damage because he has a ton of life.
And go down to the realm of below double starting health? Why?
Not sure why Scott gained 6 life.
Just making me deal with the council again.
Oh, typed the number wrong. Scott, what are you doing?
There's so many number changes, I don't even want to try and do math.
Right.
I'm just going to assume that's the correct life total. It is.
Two signets, a lantern, 3 lands in hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 lands on the field, if I counted that correctly.
Oh, wow, more lands.
Yeah, 11 lands. So
Scott
yes.
draws a plains. What is this game?
Like if Dom,
Dom is running out of life again.
true. Like if Dom didn't take 14 damage from worm tokens, I would almost say Underworld Connections did the most damage here.
Oh, Skeletal Vampire is pretty fantastic.
That's really good.
No, the worm enchantment's not a win con anymore. It doesn't give trample.
Doesn't give trample?
Victory of the Birds.
Does the worm have trample at least?
I don't
I think it's just a 6/6.
Yeah, it's just a 6/6, I want to say.
So this combo with Ghost Council, Vampire, and Underworld Connections is like a built-in engine of just spawning bats and then killing them and gaining life and drawing cards.
How does it end up working out? 6 mana to draw a card?
Something like that.
5, and then sacrificing a bat to get 2 bats, sacrificing one of those bats to bounce Ghost Council to get a life, to tap the Underworld Connections to draw. So yeah.
Oh,
You'll tap 6 mana and draw a card with minimal born impact. Nope, Ghost Council's gonna get you that life back.
Depending on how gritty Dom is on his attack, maybe Sundering Growth, the Faith Fetters, populating a Centaur token could somehow get enough creatures to swing for lethal. It's a really out there line, but
It's a thing.
or no. He pulls the Faith Fetters,
Yeah.
gets a Centaur, blocks the Alm Beast, gains 6 life to gain more life. Dom even has enough mana to make a bat.
And draw a card. And sacrifice the Ghost Council?
Oh yeah. I forgot. I completely forgot that Dom has all these like artifacts that make mana. I'm just looking at all the lands.
Yeah. He did not actually draw a card or do the Ghost Cancel. Draws another land though. Dom is sort of running out of cards, I guess. He probably has time.
Oh.
Oh, super aggro.
This is oh never mind, I forgot. You can just make bats. Making bats as blockers.
So Sundering Growth, Face Fetter, get the 2 Centaurs, gain the 6 health, and kill the Young's Beast.
It is a possibility. Or he could triple block and kill.
Triple block and get a little bit more health, and risk his Luxodon dying.
Oh man, wait, he could actually he can regenerate with his Centaurs, so that way he actually just kills the Alm Beast and gains 6 life. Oh man, he's forgetting to populate.
He might have called it down, might be working on the token. I feel like that's kind of hard to forget on that card. Because he does that if he blocks with everything. He wouldn't actually get the lifelink from Luxodon, would he?
Yeah, he can't regenerate and kill the guy.
Correct. So you would need to have the populate to have the Centaur. Sacrifice the Luxodon to, yeah.
Not getting that populate is pretty rough.
That confused. Like, I'm kind of astounded. There's not a whole lot of text on that card. It's just short target artifact or enchantment, then populate.
Yeah.
I feel like that's hard to miss. Okay, no. Yeah, no, he just missed. I was about to say, okay, no, he just got rid of the stuff, so he's probably just saying there's a Centaur there, but then you got rid of the Centaur.
So I'm pretty sure Dom can make 3 bats and also draw a card here. It's a lot of mana.
Right. Wayfaring Temple is equal to the number of creatures you control, right?
Yep.
And whenever it deals damage, populate.
It's a bit late.
Yeah, missing that populate.
Dom's
That could have been a
getting,
4/4.
Dom's getting into the range of top deck Rector's return for the win.
So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 mana right now. Plays a land, 17 mana, that's 15 damage right there.
And then he just has to swing with like 2 bats.
Yeah. 3 bats just to make certain Birds of Paradise doesn't block and prevent
Oh yeah,
it.
true. After the Worm Enchantment stopped being WinCon, I forgot that birds existed.
I mean, technically speaking, if he top decks it when all the bats and everything are tapped, it's still a win con.
Did he just populate like a turn later?
I think they realized the populate and decided that he could still get the token, I'm guessing.
Looks like it.
Maybe.
It still has pro black though.
Well, of course, it has to be the same one.
Oh right.
Yeah, an exact copy.
Hey, you can't populate a different token off of it. That would be a whole different game. It feels like I'm going to populate this 3/1 elemental after sacrifice the end of the turn to get an elemental that's an XX. They're both elementals, right?
Just start making Godsire tokens. Oh no, bats everywhere.
Come on. Obsidat. I guess just more bats, yep. Just Obsidat once.
I do like how Batman's turning Dom's deck into more of a token deck than Scott's, at least based off of the token count here.
Yeah. A single card out token Scott's deck.
Is he gonna bat again? Yup.
So yeah, this engine is just 6 mana, produce 1 bat token, blink Obsidat, and you can consider a 7th mana for just tapping Underworld Connections to draw a card.
But they also lose a life when Ghost Council comes back, so it's draw a card and deal a damage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if Dom didn't have just 8 cards in his library, I would say that should be the way that Dom tries to kill Scott. Just really slowly, not attacking with a bunch of bats.
Throw a pillar on that Luxodon Hierarch or Wayfaring Temple. Wayfaring Temple.
Probably, yeah. Oh man, finally decides to block with the birds.
He was waiting for that Worm Weaver coil. He believed.
Does Scott have a lot of outs here?
It's 17 cards in his library. Although I'm looking at Dom's hand, and it's no longer a swamp, plain swamp. Is now a Godly Shrine, Blood Crypt. I don't even know how I feel about this. It's like a Magic game, just with the amount of mana flooding both sides have seen.
Kruzda Guildmage gives Intimidate, right?
Yeah, I was just looking at that. Corrosive Guildmage, intimidate the Centaur for the win.
Yeah, that would do it. As long as Dom stays at 3 or below.
Would you guys have been ghost counseling more often, or would you have been keeping the bats up like Dom has been?
I mean, no matter the way that I explained, like with the 7 mana and whatnot, you're still needing a bat every turn, every time you do that. So I think, because that way you'd be whittling Scott's stat life down, you'd have a bit more life to play with too. I don't think you need to get 2 bats, just necessarily just. Or no, you would stay at the exact same bat count.
Yeah. So it gets 2 birds, has 2 flyers to block. He chumps against the skeletal vampire. He
So
still dies in 2 turns, just from the amount of times that he gets more bats. Dom gets more pets.
On the Guildmage, it does pump as well. It gives +1/+1, so it doesn't have to be. He doesn't have to be at 3.
Oh yeah, true. So 4 and below.
Well, he can play more than once.
Oh yeah, true. Wow, I'm really bad right now. Alright, Dom finally starts to
How about Twilight Drover? Whenever a creature token leaves the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on it. Like all of those bats that he's sacrificing.
You can't have that many lands left.
Orzhov Pontiff.
That might be a good way to swing all. Actually, yeah, that would actually just be lethal with the pump.
Comes into play, creatures you control get +1/+1, and then he full swings bats. Full swings with everything, but the bats would pretty much be the thing that do it in.
Yeah, just actually swinging with just all the bats is enough to be lethal. Because 5 bats get through, so it's death by bats.
He could also just kill the birds, and that's also lethal.
It's less fun.
Well, that was a game, I guess.
I mean, at least they both kind of mana flooded. It felt like to me they both kind of mana flooded at a similar rate and got non-land cards at a fairly similar rate. Yeah. So I mean,
Dom did draw 10 more cards. Probably like half of them were definitely lands.
Yeah. And we did see Scott go to over. Well, not, did he hit 40? Did he actually hit 40?
He went over 40.
He was at least
I saw him go to 42 at that one point, but that was a mistake.
No, I think he actually was at 42 for a bit, and then dropped down, and then accidentally went back up to 42.
Okay.
Yeah, I think 42 was the highest. There's that
All
Twilight
right.
Drover.
If Dom tried to do that, he would have decked out. You can look at the next 7 cards. All right. So can they jump back on the call, or do we have to recall them?
They should be able to if they go to it. We can invite them anyway. There we go.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Well then. Everybody, you're all still here. How about that?
Yeah. I mean, that was a really interesting game 3.
Yeah.
It was really crappy game 3.
I was dead to Abzan out for like 12 turns or something. Although it was pretty hysterical, like how bad my Underworld Connections draws were for a while. Like I had so many lands.
Yep. And Scott was like over 40 life.
Of lands.
Yeah.
And then even at the end of the game, we were still drawing lands.
I still had 3 lands in my hand. At the end of the game, my hand was 3 lands. Yeah.
Also, the amount of life gain in that last game was silly.
Yeah. I messed up by not putting courage on the birds.
Punching courage on the bird?
I seriously considered it as like, because I'll at least split the damage, and he has so much removal. But if I did, the game would have been different, I think.
Yeah. Did you guys... I mean, obviously, like, I quote-unquote should have played Condemn because he had Ready and Willing, but, like, I was hoping to, like, get on the board. Like, I played the Wrecking Ball because I wanted to hopefully untap, draw 2 cards, and then, like, cast another relevant card and have Condemn up. Like, that was the plan. I don't know if that was, like, too ambitious or what you guys thought of that.
When we saw it, we were like, yeah, it's the, like, Wrecking Ball was the mana-efficient play. Like, you can't...
I mean, I was more thinking less mana efficient and more of like, if you did the Condemn, you would have used the removal card that was a bit more restricted in terms of like, if you kept Wrecking Ball, you wouldn't have needed to use it against an attacking creature. You could just use it on a creature.
Right.
So that would have been my main logic with me going with Condemn.
Yeah. I can see that. I thought about it and I wasn't sure, but like I knew that could have happened, but I thought I couldn't afford to play around it. But maybe. I was yeah, I kept drawing like just enough to stay alive. It was
Yeah, you went to 1 in all 3 games, I think it was?
I believe so. That was why I picked Underworld Connection so early though. Like it's such a good card. That was the first game I really got to actually like do major work with it.
Speaking of Condemn, Scott, did you not see the Condemn coming in game 1 with the attacking with the Tulsimare
I have that one.
into Angel of Despair?
No.
Okay.
I don't really look at the decks. I just kind of go in.
Fair enough.
So I don't really remember what everyone has in their decks.
Okay.
I mean, I was thinking about it, like, if I was from your perspective, the only chance I thought would be he has something to defend himself, or he fucked up.
I was thinking he had something to defend himself, or he's bluffing.
It could have been a bluff attack. Like it's not impossible, but
That would have been kind of ballsy. Oh, I would have been.
yeah.
I
I think if it put him to 2 instead of 7, it would have been a good bluff attack because like then you get a huge payoff for it. But if I didn't have anything, I wouldn't have attacked there.
Because the alternative was if you didn't do the attack that turn, you had, I think, 2. You could have tapped it to get the 4/4 and a 4/4 wolf.
Yeah.
And from what we were looking at, I think that would have gotten you the game, guys.
I would have. Yeah, I would have had. I think I had 2 draws to hit something. Was I at 1 or 2? I don't remember.
You were at, I think, 2, so you'd have 2
I think I
draws.
was at 2 also. Yeah. Because I was pretty sure I thought at some point, okay, well I have 2 draws if he doesn't want to condemn, and then like I still have the condemn.
Correct. It would have been 2 turns. The one where he didn't attack, and the next one would have been lethal damage with 2 creatures.
Maybe I was at 1, but I think it was just that I would keep the condemn. I think that's what I was thinking. So I would have gotten like a draw and then another draw, like because the condemn would have saved me. But yeah, that was pretty nuts. This is why I don't play control decks that often.
Let's see, what else did we have?
I don't even remember what happened in the first 2 games. Like that was such a long match. At least it was, or probably was interesting to watch.
Oh, it definitely was.
It was entertaining.
Yeah. Also, I have to ask because Chris brought it up. Scott, did you still have Worm Reaver Coil in your deck for the 3rd game, or is that out?
No, I took it out.
Oh. Chris was saying if you drew that, you could have played it on your Birds of Paradise and swung for game.
Yeah.
Like before the Skeletal Vampire came out, I was like, wait, that enchantment's still alive. And also, like, game 3, every creature that you play was green compared to the previous game where nothing was green.
Right? That's the reason I took it out. I took it out and I was like, I don't want that to happen again, so...
It was actually really bad, like, that happened, because it was way better for me that he played that enchantment than... Because then, like,
yeah.
I could kill the enchantment, and then I could have castigated Abzan. I probably would have won the game. So, like, if he had cast that spell legally, I probably win the game.
Yeah, no, we were talking about that. Like, no, this just got way better for Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, when you cast it, did you forget about the, not apparition, but the sacrifice kill enchantment guy, or were you trying to force
apparition.
it? Okay.
I boarded it in just because, like, I mean, there's some very powerful enchantments. Like, Glare Subdual is very good. I don't know if that was on the deck or not, but, like, the Worm Reaver Coil, like, Unflinching Courage, he has several enchantments, so I figured I kind of wanted an early play anyway, so.
But, I mean, for Scott, did you play that and forget about King Apparition, or...?
I did forget about King Apparition.
Yeah, that was another thing I commented on, like, after it happened, was if Scott wasn't aware of that, and that was kind of a mistake for him to play it, then at least now he's very aware of it.
Yeah.
Dom, we talked about your lines in game 2 a little bit on a couple of pixels.
I'm willing to bet I made a mistake. I ended up losing pretty bad, so.
Okay. There was one you played Obsidat, your Ghost Council, instead of just Rector's returning his 3 cards away.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah. I think I worried too much about Loxodon Smiter in that game. I think I probably should have just gone for it. Because even if he got a free 4/4 out of it, I'm pretty far behind on board. But it's probably, because, he has a lot of high impact cards, so I thought about it later that, I might have been wrong. But, I've actually boarded out the 2/1 flyer that makes him discard because I was afraid of Loxodon Smiter.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
It's weird because, discard in general is probably good against him. But, I don't know if I could beat giving my opponent a 0-mana 4/4.
Yeah.
I ended up just getting cast, the one time it showed up, which worked out well for me. But yeah, if had it not been for that, I would have just gone for his hand.
Alright, fair enough. We were confused at the end of game 2 as well, when you dreadboard the spirit and then castigated lands instead of... We and it was kind of rough, but we figured there was at least a way to gain a turn or so.
I thought I was going to be able to cast, Dreadbore and Pillory and whatever else I played that turn. I thought I had one more mana than I did. That was why. I thought I was going to... Dreadbore the Spirit, Pillory the Knight, and then castigate him, and then I realized, halfway through the sequence, I only had 6 mana, not 7. So that's what happened there. So it was just a misplay.
We were amused that there were Obsidats on both sides of the field.
Yeah, the Ghost Council is fighting itself.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't that amused. Yeah.
We're also commenting on your deck synergy where you could pay 6 mana, reduce your opponent's life by 1, and draw a card.
Yeah. Doing it. I had so much mana.
You had so much mana, it was ridiculous. We were also talking about how when you was at 17 health, you could almost just Rakdos him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was just free rolling him for, or free rolling the card draw. I was afraid I was gonna mill myself out because I drew all my lands.
I kept on worrying about Rakdos. I was did he draw this turn? Nope. Did he draw this turn? Nope.
Yeah. We both had a lot of ways to win the game, before one of us did in the third game. Because Death Riot or Obsidat were pretty much, I was dead too.
And Wormweaver Coil.
Yeah. That too.
Yeah, I was kind of rooting for it after a period of time, because that would have been so shenanigan-y. It would have been fun.
Yeah, I just wanted to see 6-7 Birds of Paradise just come swinging in.
Yeah.
Just a Bird of Paradise victory out of nowhere.
Yeah, if you ever put Batterskull on Birds of Paradise, it's pretty great. Well, it's even better when you put it on Inferno Titan. I apparently did that to someone the first time they ever played Sanctioned Magic. And it's someone who doesn't really play Magic anymore, but I'm still friends with. But he reminds me every time I bring up Magic. He's you put a Batterskull on Inferno Titan once.
Is that the reason he doesn't really play Magic anymore?
Maybe. Nah, not really. He played for 2 or 3 years and then graduated and moved away and stuff. So. But yeah, no, that was pretty absurd. I actually felt pretty good in the first game. I thought I was gonna win the first game, although it ended up being closer than I thought because I hit a ton of lands before I drew the Angel. But then I did not think I was gonna win the third game for most of the third game.
Yeah, I ended up drawing all my lands along with you.
Yeah.
You just had a Underworld connection to help you get through it all.
Right.
There were a lot of turns of draw land, Underworld, draw land, though.
Yeah. Maybe it was correct to Sunder and Growth Underworld connections and not the Fates Fetters.
I didn't even think about that, honestly.
Oh yeah.
I didn't think about it till afterwards. I was like, oh, he could have killed my draw cards thing.
Yeah.
But that's also the first time I've ever activated the ability on Skeletal Vampire, and I did it 8 times or something. It's weird how it's like sack a bat, make 2 bats. As if it was just like pay 5, make 1 bat, then you could actually regenerate more aggressively. But like you have to keep 1 bat around or you can't make anymore. Which sort of came up in game 2 actually.
Yep. I think that was actually another thing that we I don't know if we questioned it, but I know we at least commented on it, was the way you played like 1 or 2 spells, I think it was, rather than just making the extra bat, and then ended up costing you all your bad tokens.
Right.
Yeah, that was that same missing mana turn.
Yeah. No, that was just like a very bad turn. I could have done like 5 different things, and I picked the absolute worst one. So.
I think that was about all we talked about.
Yeah, there was a lot to talk about. That was a very complicated match. I'll probably see even more things and go watch it again.
Alright, I'm hanging up the recording then. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
See you next time.